Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm going to show you today a card that we made at our annual January luncheon, where we kick off the Occasions catalog and also Celebration. Celebration is an event that Stampin' Up! Holds every year, January, February, and March, where you get to pick a free reward with a $50 purchase. Some of the things in the brochure are like card kits, stamp sets. You can order ribbon as an embellishment this year, some Memories and More card packs for those doing memory keeping, and also this year for a $100 purchase you can get the Happy Wishes stamp set for free on page 19, and on page 17 the Celebrate You Thinlits dies that coordinate with the stamp set on page 16 called Amazing You. These two stamps, this stamp set and this Thinlit, are just gorgeous. And I'm going to show you what we're going to make using the Amazing You stamp set and the Celebrate You Thinlits. So this card has a palette of Melon Mambo and Wild Wasabi. So of course we're going to need those two inks. And we're going to need cardstock that coordinates with that. Now we're making a landscape card. So what I did was take a half of my 8.5 by 11, and on the 11-inch side I cut it in half at 5.5. So that left me with a 5.5 by 8.5, and then I scored it at 4.25, and that gave me my landscape A2 size card. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25, makes my landscape card. Now I like to put a nice 1/8 inch border around the top, bottom, and both sides. And so my Wild Wasabi is going to be 4 inches by 5.25. And then the next panel in, the Whisper White, will be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So the first thing to do in making this card is to stamp this panel. Now when you get the stamp in the Amazing You stamp set, the leaves and the flower are connected to each other. But I wanted to have a pink flower and a green leaf, and I didn't want to have to take out my Stampin' Right markers and paint them each time. So what I did was take a nice clean cut between the flower and the leaves, and then I can just stamp the leaves, and then the flower. Now you want to make sure when you cut this that you don't do any trimming around the edges, because you want it to be able to pop back together if you want to use it as a single stamp again. So just know that if you ever want to cut your stamps, it's okay, they're yours. So once I did this, I stamped the Melon Mambo, and then I came back in with the Wild Wasabi and did the leaves. I found it easier to do that way so that I didn't end up with a white spot that I couldn't fit either the flower or the leaf in, and then it just was kind of barren there. But be very careful when you're having two ink pads open at the same time. As my friend Cheryl will tell you, I did before class make a card for somebody and I put the flower into the green, and that wasn't a good thing. So once you have this panel done, you're just going to set it aside. Then I want you to take the Celebrate from the Celebrate You Thinlits, and I want you to die cut 2 of them out of the thick Whisper White. So 2 of them with thick Whisper White. Just find some scraps that you have in your drawer or in your little baggie, however you store them, and you'll have 2 of those, and you'll just set them aside. Then I want you to come back with this panel, and I want you to put the Celebrate on it and run it through the Big Shot, so that you end up with the word Celebrate cut out of the stamped panel with the colors. Now, there is something very important to know about this, is whenever you take this Celebrate, you want to save every little scrap that comes out of these little holes in the words, like the E, the L, the E, the B, the R, and the A, and the E. So you'll see all these little pieces. You'll want to save each of these pieces. You don't have to worry about it with the white ones, but you do want to make sure you save all these pieces that come out of this die cut, that you die cut out of your stamped panel. Then you're going to come back, being very careful not to lose those little pieces, and you will take your Wild Wasabi border, and you will die cut using the Amazing. And of course my girls know that we'll never waste paper, so I took the panel because it was going to be covered up anyhow, and I cut Amazing out of that green panel. Then you come back and you adhere that Wild Wasabi to the Melon Mambo card base. Then you come back with your stamped panel and you adhere it on top of there. Now you'll notice here, like see, you can see there, but we're going to be covering that up so it doesn't matter. So you're going to come back with one of the Celebrates that's cut out of the thick Whisper White, and you will put it in. I kind of bent that. And then that just gets glued right back in there. That's an inlay, okay? Then you're going to take some more adhesive, which would probably, you could use your fine tip if you let it dry a little bit, or Tombow, my favorite Tombow with the green top is perfect for doing this. So put some little pieces of glue on there, and then you've already put one in there, and you see the green peeking through. You put the other white on top of this, and already you can start seeing the dimension that's happening on the card. Now the next layer is going to be your stamped Celebrate. Now you'll notice when you're just getting to this last step that you can see the green coming out of here and here very, very prominent. So that's where you come back with those little tiny pieces, and they pop right in to those holes, and they go the whole way down through 3 layers to hit the green layer. I thought it would be easier not to actually do the gluing and the tape and the adhering while I was demonstrating it. Maybe it would have been better. And you can see how this one pops right in there, just like a little puzzle piece. Okay? And so you pop all the little pieces into the holes, and it goes down 3 layers, and then your eye sees the word popped up, but yet sees the inlay of the stamped panel there. So after you're done with that, you'll just take a scrap of Melon Mambo, and you'll cut out the word you, because you're going to adhere the Amazing right here. And this little flap that comes up over the end of the Celebrate gives it even more dimension. And then you're going to put the U a little bit on top of the Amazing. And then I added a line of pearls right under on the side of U and over here, as you can see on the card. So it just gave a little bit of something, something. And then I took a little Wink of Stella and I colored in the middles of the flowers just to give it a little pizzazz as well. So you can make this card if you have Melon Mambo ink, Wild Wasabi, and cardstock to coordinate with that. Of course, you can make it with any color ink, but those are the ones for this card. And then if you make a $50 purchase, you can get this Amazing You stamp set for free. And for a $100 purchase, you can get the Celebrate Amazing You Thinlits for free with a $100 purchase. So this is a great time as you're stocking up and finding new stamp sets out of the Occasions catalog that that you want, that you can actually get some free stuff. And this is a nice coordinating set that you can use it for, just like, let's celebrate Amazing You. You are simply amazing. Just a nice card to send to a friend. So this would be great for also weddings, celebrating the birth of a new baby, just so many things. And of course, if you're like my friend Sandy, who loves flowers, how can you go wrong with this stamp set? So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at my blog, cindyleeBdesigns.com. You can also contact me via my Gmail, cindyleeb@gmail.com, or call me at 724-323-2296. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, and I want to thank you all for buzzing by today.